Okay, so this is the movement from solopreneur or startup, right? The very, very small team. You guys are now in the scaling aspect, and now, you know, in the beginning, it's the technology, it's the process, it's the product, right? You go, hey, you guys want the product? Yeah, no problem. Well, the product at some point transcends being the application and becomes the people, right? So now your decisions, I'm making an assumption, but the decisions come more important in the next hire than the next feature, right? Because the wrong person blow everything up. So talk through that process for me as hiring, good hires, bad hires. How did y'all blow it up and make the mistake, and then how do you fix it now? Because I'm going to tell you, and I'll tell my story real quick, right? So I had a small marketing company. There were 3 of us. We started to grow. We didn't realize we had a cash flow issue. We figured that out later. But we add 2 new people to the team. And I love them. They interview great. Resumes look solid. They've got a bunch of contacts, right? We send them out into the world, and they absolutely start destroying relationships because they don't fit in, right? We think they fit in. They look like they fit in, but they don't fit our team. And so we had to go back and basically go back and like you were talking about with your clients, apologize and say, we screwed up. We're going to pay for what we did just to get back to even, and we hope that you'll do business with us again, right? It was devastating for us. And so we had to revamp our entire hiring process. We use a top grading model, and that's kind of what we've implemented now in our training, but shameless plug. But how has that been a challenge for you guys? And kind of tell me the learning story, and then tell me what you've put in place to get past it now.
Yeah, so that's a tough one for us. I mean, we have over 300 people working for us now in 8 different markets now, and we're hiring probably 50 a week. So it's really tough to keep up with. And I was talking to some of my guys today, and you know, one of the things I learned in my failures is that, especially when you hire people in key positions, one of the most important things is to spend as much time with them as you can, so you really get to know who they are or what they're about beyond just the interview, right? So if you're going to hire a director or or even a higher level manager or an executive team or those kind of things, you do that. But in our case, you know, we hire hundreds of waiters, we call them, which are drivers that go around town delivering, and we don't always have that luxury to spend a lot of time with them. Like, correct, you know, we need 50 more today in Lafayette. How do we get them in, trained, and in the field today?
Correct.
And so it gets really tough. And that's the face of our company. So they're the people that our customers see. And so we want to make sure that we try to hire the right ones, and we don't always do it. I mean, it's hard. So we're still trying to figure it out. I mean, we're still trying to figure out how we hire the best people, put them through the right interview. They all go through a background check and, you know, those kinds of things. But by the end of this year, we'll have a couple thousand employees. And we're not going to get great employees every time. And so I also talk about how we have to be bigger than any one employee. So one employee can't take the whole company down. So we have to put systems in place where we can try to recognize where there's faults and get feedback from our customers. And we just implemented one in the app, a chat feature. And we've heard about some of our not so great employees recently that we've been able to act on. But it's a super big challenge, especially with a company like us, where we're hiring hundreds and hundreds of people in multiple cities in such a short amount of time. So I haven't figured it out completely yet, but when I do, I'll let you know.
All right. Well, I'll tell a good story too, because I think, you know, I'm asking you to reveal some stuff, and not all of it's always good. But I had one of the waiters, so I ordered some pho is how it's pronounced, as I'm told. Pho is incorrect. Pho. I ordered some pho. He comes to the house, and man, he gets out of his car. I heard him pull up. right? So I go to the door, I open the door. He's got to be a college kid. He's a young guy. And he comes out, and I can just see his eyes. As soon as he opens the door, this pain in his face. And I'm like, what? And I know you're looking at me like, oh, where's this story going? And I'm just sitting there like, oh, this isn't good. And as soon as he stands up, his entire waist is just soaked. I mean, he looks like he wet himself, right? And he comes up, and he goes, Mr. Barker, I'm sorry, there was an accident on the way over here. I go, obviously. And I'm thinking, man, I hope he didn't pee on himself. Like, you know. He said, the lid popped off. Apparently it wasn't sealed all the way, which happens, right? The lid popped off. He had it in his lap because he was trying to hold it because he didn't want it sloshed. He told me the whole story. And he said, it busted. It's in my lap. He's holding it on my porch as it's dripping out of the bag, right? And he said, I'm going to go get it replaced for you right now, but I thought you'd want your summer rolls, right? I had like some egg rolls. He had pulled them out separately. He said, I thought you'd want those while I'm running back to the place to go grab your food. And I went, oh man, like, that's one of the nicest things I could think. You know, he didn't just go like, sorry, your food's messed up. Yeah. He didn't, you know, he actually thought, I just spilled all this hot stuff all over me. I'm going to pull out this guy's egg rolls, give them to him, and then he turned around. He immediately got back in the car. He said, you want me to take it? I'll take it back. I said, no, man, I'll throw it away. I threw it away for him. He was back in 15 minutes.
Yeah, good job training that guy, yeah. Jude. So.
I kid you. Is that who it was? He was unbelievable. And he came, and he was still just soaked. And I told him, I said, man, you want another shirt? And he was like, no. And I really wanted to freak him out because I wanted to have a WAITR shirt on when he came to my house so he could open up and see WAITR delivering to WAITR. Yeah. But I didn't want to mess with it. I didn't want to mess with him too much. So
yeah, I mean that's a challenge. You know, one of the things that we try to do to deal with situations like that, because we have several of them. Anytime anybody has a bad experience, they can call our customer service line, or now they can just hit the chat button in the app. Tell us what happened. We'll send a driver out with fresh food if that's what it takes, whatever it is. So we try to make good on every situation. And we don't take that out of the restaurant. The restaurant did their job. In that case, we messed up, right? So we fix it. It cost us money to do that. But when we fix it, that creates, hopefully, a lifetime customer. Sounds like you're a frequent customer now, Zach.
I have told that story multiple times. And I kid you not, I had one of those moments where, you know, like your wife would go, oh, I felt for him that moment. I literally was like, oh, what a sweet kid. You know, it was like, I felt like a dad. It's like, what a sweet kid. He's so good. Like, he literally went out of his way to get, and he was like, I just thought you'd want these. Man, they must have been plated in gold at that moment for me because they were so valuable. I was starving. I was like, oh my God, I love this kid.
I know that feeling though, because I was the first driver. So myself and the other 4 co-founders, so it happened to me. I know what it's like.
Well, you guys are doing a phenomenal job with it. Phenomenal job.